So you mean to tell me that you come up with a genius name like Breastini's Child for your girl group and you don't take it? I'm sorry, what? Hey guys, it's your girl Ayesha and welcome to the Drag Race UK Lowdown. Here is the place where I give you all the tea on what happened in the show. And if you are a big fan of RuPaul's Drag Race and you love to see what goes down in the UK version, then make sure that you keep it right here by subscribing so that you don't miss my next episode. Now, that being said, the library is open. Officially. So basically, most of these reads I can't even really repeat because there's a hell of a lot of swearing in there, and you know, I don't want to be demonetized, but they were actually quite funny, and I love that there was just so much British humor in there. The Brits love to swear. Like, pretty much swearing is like punctuation. And I was here for it, you know, it made me laugh. I definitely think that Drag Race UK has a lot more swearing in it than the original Drag Race does. And yeah, I just find it funny. Crystal won the reading challenge with her line of, "The Vivienne, proof you can polish a turd." Rude. So the Maxi Challenge this week was a girl group battle. Now they had to come up with their own look, they had to come up with their own solo lyrics, and they both had to perform the same song. Okay, so both groups of three had to perform the same song, but with their own individual lyrics and their own individual flair. Crystal got to pick out the groups because she was the winner of the reading challenge. So she picked the Vivienne, and I always want to call her Chloe. Cheryl Hull. And it transpires that Crystal doesn't sing or dance. So Vivienne was already ready to like jump ship at this point. She's like, oh, so you're basically telling me that you don't sing or dance? I'm out. But yeah, I definitely think that she picked them because, you know, she wanted to have some strength on her team. But like Bagger, I was a bit concerned that she was going to get a bit overshadowed because you know, they're both quite strong characters in that field. Of course, this being a girl group challenge, Cheryl made it known to everybody, the world and its wife, that she is in a girl group tribute band for Girls Aloud, obviously, you know, and that this is her thing, and you know, she knows it all basically. You know, she had that kind of vibe about her. So I was thinking, girl, you better deliver, because if this is what you do, we need to see you do what you do. And to be honest, she did do the damn thing. One thing I wish is that Bagger believed in herself a bit more, because like you could really tell that she was a little bit in her own head in this one. When they were sitting on the couch, Davina and Blue, like, she was very, very quiet and just listening to what they had to say. She wasn't being her usual loud, over the top self. She was very sort of like, you know, okay, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna just take in what you have to say, take what you have to say, I'm gonna work with whatever you guys think, sort of thing, you know. And it's like she doesn't believe that she's good enough, sort of thing. Like, I find that sometimes she has these moments where she really does sort of get into her head, and she needs to like let go of that, because she was really, really good. And another thing, she sings a lot better than I thought that she would as well. The girl can hold a tune. She did say that she'd find it hard not being on a team with Vivienne, but I think that actually kind of was a blessing in disguise, because sometimes if you work too closely with someone, you end up almost relying on them or comparing yourself to them, and you know, that can be a little bit dangerous. Like, too much of something is bad enough. Too much of something is bad enough. Yes, Spice Girls. I've been in that situation before where I've worked really closely with somebody and done nothing but compare myself to them and think that I'm not good enough because they do this, and you know, they do it so much better than I am, and blah blah blah. And it just, it gets a bit heavy, it gets a bit much, and you start really doubting yourself, and that's not good. You know, sometimes you need to break away so that you can shine. So shine, girl, shine. So Blue came up with a genius name for the group. Breastini's Child. I died when I heard that. I was like, yes, that's what it has to be. They decided to go with the Frock Destroyers. Okay. So now it comes to actually recording the song, and they are being coached by MNEK. Now, I had no idea who MNEK was, but I thought he looked adorable. Like, he is just like the cutest looking teddy bear with eyeshadow and heels. He looks so cute. First, we've got Crystal's group, and it's quite clear that yes, Vivian definitely can sing. Doesn't quite know how to spell the word break though. So like, yeah, so let's B-R-A-K. Let's brag. Cheryl isn't the best singer, so she just gave it all her Essex twang, which I was living for. Crystal? Crystal tried to sing. Bless her. Bless her. And MNEK said, okay, let's try rapping. Well, when you get told to try rapping instead of singing, that's gotta hurt. So when the Frock Destroyers came into the studio, oh yeah, by the way, the previous group, their name was Filth Harmony. I forgot to mention that. Very cool name. So yeah, the Frock Destroyers arrived and they all had turbans on, and I was already very impressed with that because already there was a lot of unison there. Even though they were about to break up, there was still a lot of like togetherness there. So I fully appreciated that. I actually really liked Blue's line of "I can be the hero for the gays back home," because at this point, like, gay marriage wasn't legal in Northern Ireland. I believe that law has now passed now, and I think that it is now legal finally. Jesus, like, it's 2019, come on. But anyway, at the time that wasn't the case, and I think that was a very important line in there, and I'm sure that there are loads of, you know, young gay people out there who will be looking up to Blue just because she said that, you know. Yeah, I was proud of her for that. Also, she's got a bit of a voice on her as well. She was saying that she got no experience whatsoever, but like, I wasn't mad at her voice. Her ad-libs did get a little bit X-rated though. Like, even MNEK was a bit like, you're gonna have to tone that down because we want this to get played out on the radio. Davina rocks up to the mic, and MNEK is like, so are you singing? And she's like, yeah. And then she doesn't. She kind of starts like semi-rapping sort of thing. And then he was like, I thought you were singing. And she's like, I will. Cue Mariah. I'm very croaky today, as I am still recovering from a cold. But you get my drift. She can whistle tone. What? Like, we need to just remember for a second, even though we see Davina as a glamorous, over-camp woman, she's still a man at the end of the day. So to be able to reach up there is a little bit insane. I was impressed. That's back to going into the workroom again, and the atmosphere is tense. It also felt a little bit forced for me. Personally, like, I think that producers were just getting in their ears and saying, you need to make them believe that you were the absolute best, and vice versa. Okay, cameras rolling, go. And so it was very, so what did I think of you? Yeah, well, you know, they loved all three of us. They were just completely blown away by all of us. Yeah, same here. Come on. You guys don't talk like that, okay? Like, just be real, please. When it came to putting on their makeup and everything, things got really emotional. Davina ended up opening up about like the bullying that she faced in school. I think it was Crystal actually who started off the conversation. Again, this was a bit random. I don't know whether this was like a producer thing, trying to like get it out of them. They tend to do that. But yeah, so Davina ended up opening up about that. And it was actually really quite sad because she was talking about the whole like Section 28 thing, which is basically a law that was put in a few years ago, that basically meant that homosexuality couldn't be talked about like in schools and stuff, you know. So you had kids growing up who knew that they were homosexual but felt shunned for it because it was never made to be okay. And it just really sort of like highlighted the struggles that gay people face. I mean, now it's getting easier, but like back then and further back then, like this was hard. This was really, really, really difficult. And kids are mean, right? Kids are so mean because they just don't hold back, you know, like a lot of them just have no filter. They will just say whatever it is that they're feeling. And that can really break you. You know, there's stuff that's been said to me when I was a child that still affects me today. And I'm in my 30s, you know, so it's like stuff can really, really stay with you from such a young age. And it was a very interesting conversation that they were having, but it was heartbreaking to see Davina break down like that. Because you can tell that even though she's done all she can to like try and get over it, it's still there, you know, embedded in her brain. So in terms of the actual performance, now, Filth Harmony, in the beginning, when Vivienne turned around and started doing her verse, I was so here for it. Also, I actually quite liked her outfit. The denim jacket with the leotard and the thigh highs, I actually did quite like it. And I really loved her hair. I actually want to style one of my wigs like that because like that was fire. I really liked it. I thought she had a great attitude, but throughout the performance, and everybody said it, she started to fade and she was missing her cues and she wasn't lip syncing everything that she was supposed to. And it was very noticeable because this is not what we expect from the Vivienne. Cheryl, for me, just stole that whole performance. Her whole attitude, her death drop at the end, classic Cheryl. Her verse is really funny as well. Her little ad libs, like I just felt that it was just a bit more iconic, I suppose. Crystals, I wasn't that fussed over. I feel that she looked quite odd in the group. I don't know whether it was just like her makeup or her hair, but I don't know, like, in fact, no, do you know what? It wasn't so much that she looked quite odd. I think that they all didn't mesh together. They all looked very, very different. And even the fact that the Vivienne had pink hair and the other two had blonde. Like, what's that about? Do you know what I mean? Like, there wasn't much of a sort of similarity between them. If they're not all gonna wear similar things, maybe your hair should have been the same color. Do you know what I'm saying? But hey, artistic differences.
Get the frock out of my way.
Get the frock out of my way. Then the Frock Destroyers came and just destroyed the whole thing. Like, let's just be real. It's quite obvious that they were going to win this because so many elements. Number one, they all had the same color hair. I'm joking, that's not the number one reason, but you get what I mean. Like, they looked together, you know, they were all wearing black, they were all scantily clad, you know, they all had the same kind of vibe, and it kind of shows that, yeah, they were together once, but now they're ready to go their own separate ways. Do you know what I mean? So it was like they all fitted the same brief: wear something revealing, wear something black, wear blonde hair, and they all did it in their own sort of style. They even had a reveal at the beginning. Could have been a bit tighter with that, in my personal opinion, but whatever, they had a reveal and we live for a reveal. I feel that all their verses were really, really good. I love Bagger's attitude, and I also love how Blue just really pushed herself in this. I think that there was a lot of attitude in that, and even though, as I said earlier, you know, she's not a singer, but she gave it everything, and she really delivered it in the lip sync to this. I thought she was brilliant. Then Davina just comes in with the splits for the bridge, you know, like she's this 28-foot tall woman, and then she comes out with this really, really deep manly voice when she's rapping. It was hilarious. And of course, you know, the classic high notes and everything. Like, they just smashed it. Okay, so as for the runway, the theme was a day at the races. I think most people weren't too thrilled with this one, but I actually liked it. The Vivienne, I thought that she looked like she could be doing an advert for Ferrero Rocher. I loved the scooped neck on her dress, and I really liked the kind of like angular shapes on her hat. Yeah, it was nice. It was simplistic, but it was quite nice, I thought. It wasn't quite out of the box though. You know, I mean, when you go to the races, you know, you go to like Ascot and stuff like that, you see the ladies wearing their ridiculous flamboyant hats and everything, but this is drag. So like, I think that what they were expecting was for her to go even further with it. Do you know what I mean? As some of the other queens did later on the runway. As for Cheryl, as Michelle said, it did look a little bit pedestrian. It looked a little bit normal. That did look like something that somebody would wear if they were sitting down watching a race. You kind of want that, but amped up to like 11, 15, you know. She could have gone a lot further with this look, I definitely think. Then you got Crystal, who walks in with like a floral gimp mask, one piece with a big ass hat and everything. And as ridiculous as it looks, you know, I mean, we have seen these before in Drag Race, but as ridiculous as it looks, I still loved it, you know, because I'm like, okay, so she's taken the brief and she has gone all the way over there with it. And I'm here for that. Bag of Chips came out with a flower afro. This was ridiculous upon ridiculous, and I actually thought that it was really quite good. It was funny, you know, and that's what Bagger is. She is funny. And, you know, considering that her last two looks I wasn't really impressed with, this one made me laugh. And again, you know, she went over the top with it. You know, a day at the races would include fascinators and flowers and a pretty frock. And she was like, okay, I'm going to wear all the flowers that I can find in my hair and keep it moving. Well, all right then. Blue Hydrangea turned up as a horse, like an actual horse. With this beautifully rhinestoned horse head and, you know, this gorgeous ocean blue jumpsuit with like drapey bits and everything. And, you know, she is selling it down the runway. She's absolutely selling it. Again, took the brief and went way over there with it. And I like that, you know, she's daring to be different. Ain't nobody else gonna turn up as an actual horse. And then Davina turned up as the jockey. Brilliant. Nobody thought to do that, right? Who was it? What's her name? Jade, who was on the panel. She said that Davina was giving her Ariana Grande national realness. And I was like, do you know what? That was actually pretty good. What with the ponytail and everything. She did look a little bit like Ariana Grande, and that was a very clever play on words. I loved her rhinestone hat. I thought that her costume was really beautifully made. There was a lot of attention to detail, and the shoes. She was walking in those shoes that have no heel. How she can balance herself in them, I have no idea, but it worked, because even though she was the jockey, she still had the horse element on her feet. Very creative, totally got what she was doing, no need to explain it, fabulous. So in Untucked, everybody is breaking down, everyone is so upset or emotional in some way, shape or form. You know, Vivian's in absolute bits because she realizes that she mucked up big time and that she's more than likely going to be lip syncing. You know, and this is the first time that we actually see some vulnerability from Vivian, because like she's quite hard-faced in this competition. So seeing her break down and cry, it's a little bit like, okay, so she is human. But then she was like, I'm gonna absolutely destroy anybody who I'm gonna lip sync with. I'm like, oh, okay, let's just bring it back a little bit because other people are feeling scared too. Cheryl asks Crystal how she's feeling. Crystal begins to talk about how she's feeling, but then Cheryl just cuts her and starts talking about how amazing that she feels that she did well in a challenge to do with girl groups, because that is what she does for a living. That is her gig, blah, blah, blah. How are you going to ask someone how they are and then immediately start talking about yourself? Girl, no. You wrong for that one. What was nice was seeing that all three of the Frock Destroyers got to win this challenge. So yeah, Blue has finally got her first Repeater badge. I'm still upset that they ain't getting any money for this whole thing, but whatever. But yeah, so she gets her Repeater badge, which is nice, you know, because like she hasn't really been given enough credit, I think, throughout the competition, and it was nice for her to get some recognition, which meant that Crystal and the Vivian were in the bottom two. Now, about this lip sync, when I saw the Vivian start, I was like, where was this Vivian 10 minutes ago in the challenge? Like, where was this? Because the amount of conviction that she had when she began this song, fire, absolute fire. This was a fight to the death. As far as she was concerned, she was not going home. She didn't care if she lost a shoe, whatever. She wasn't going home. Crystal's there, like dragging off her face kini, you know, hair getting all up in her face. Poor thing. You know, meanwhile, the Vivienne is just stomping around that stage, giving it all the power that she's got. One shoe on, one shoe off. I don't even know exactly when she lost said shoe, but I just happened to blink and it wasn't there. Yeah, that was a real fight. She deserved to stay. Question of the day, who do you think had the best outfit on the runway? I'm still trying to choose between Blue Hydrangea and Davina. They both were exceptional for me, so yeah. Let me know your views. If Drag Race is your thing and you need someone to have a little chit chat about it with, then definitely make sure that you keep it right here. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss my next episode. And just in case you have done, over here is where you will find the rest. Take care, my darlings, and I'll see you all soon. Mwah. Bye.